Weight cuts, they're a necessary evil in the fight game, but a weight cut gone wrong could be detrimental to your performance or even your health. We hear horror stories all the time about a weight cut gone wrong, leading to hospitalizations or even deaths. Unfortunately, anything you see in the news is mostly talking about the pros, but some of the biggest weight cutting mistakes are made at the amateur level. And if you have any dreams or aspirations to fight on the world stage and make it far in your fight career, then it's crucial that your weight cutting habits are safe and science-backed and put in place now before you make it far into your fight career. So in today's video, I'm gonna be going over the 6 biggest amateur weight cutting mistakes that you're most likely making. Stay tuned. What's going on, fighters around the world? Coach Adam here. Today, we're talking about weight cuts. If you're new to the channel, we make fight science simple. We cover everything from strength and conditioning to weight management, nutrition, and recovery. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the fight knowledge that we're dropping. And if you're digging the video, make sure you hit that like button as well. So today, we're talking about the 6 biggest amateur weight cut mistakes that I see. You know, when we talk about weight cutting, we always are thinking about the pros going through these huge dehydrations and just these massive 30+ weight cuts. But so many weight cut mistakes happen at the amateur level. And unfortunately, weight cutting is just a part of combat sports. So if we're going to do it, we have to make sure that we do it safely and we have to do it efficiently. Because if we do a weight cut wrong, it could be really, really dangerous for our performance and especially our health. I've seen fighters do crazy 30+ pound weight cuts in only a couple of weeks, and it's so scary. It's honestly the hardest part of my job as a performance coach. And there's just so many risks that come with a weight cut done wrong. If we think about what we do when we severely dehydrate our body, especially in a short amount of time, this is increasing our resting heart rate, it's increasing our blood pressure, and increasing our risk of injury. So if we cut really poorly, really dangerously, we don't refuel the right way, we could get hurt in the ring or we could die. Horror stories happen. So I'm gonna break down the 6 biggest mistakes that I see. It's very important that do not undergo severe weight cuts without the guidance of a coach, okay? These are just some tips. These are just some things that I see, some mistakes that fighters make. But if you're going to be doing a big weight cut, work with a professional, work with somebody that understands the science behind weight cutting so you can do it safely and you can do it efficiently. So let's jump right into it. Weight cut mistake number 1 that I see amateurs doing are excessive amounts of cardios. I was talking to a jiu-jitsu athlete the other day, and he was getting ready for a competition, and he was training 3 times a day. And then after his training session, every day at night, he was going to LA Fitness and he was doing jogs. He was going on runs. Now, this fighter wasn't running for his cardio. His fighter wasn't running to get in shape, but this fighter was running to actually cut weight, right? To sweat out, to dehydrate, to make weight for his competition. He was maybe 5-6 weeks out. This happens all of the time where fighters have a weight cut, amateurs have a weight cut, and they increase the amount of cardio that they do in order to sweat more and to make weight. This is one of the worst things that you can do to make weight for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, if we're dehydrating by running weeks out from a fight to make weight, we are going to decrease our training quality and make our risk for injury much higher. Think about it, right? We need to be hydrated. We need fluids. We need electrolytes in our body to allow our body to function so we can train at a high level. So if we're taking away from our training quality because we're trying to make weight weeks and weeks and weeks out by doing excessive amounts of cardio, by sweating out really far from your fight, then this is gonna put you in a place where you're gonna be tired every day, you're gonna be beat up every day, and you could potentially get injured. On top of that, just doing extra exercise to make weight is extremely depleting for our body. okay? Think about it. You're doing how many sessions a day? If you're an MMA fighter, you have kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, MMA training, sparring sessions. You're training 2-3 times a day. Now you add runs on top of that. When are you recovering? You're just putting damage and damage and damage and fatigue and stress on top of your body. So yeah, you're gonna make weight, but your body's gonna be destroyed and you're gonna be fatigued and your performance is gonna be trash on fight night. Amateur weight cutting mistake number 2 that you're most likely making, and this is a big one, cutting out carbs to make weight. An athlete has a fight booked, they have a weight to make, and their coach tells them to immediately cut out carbs, right? We cut out carbs, we make weight. It makes sense, right? But this is how we get injured. Carbs are our body's primary energy source. Our body breaks them down very quickly, converts them into energy that we then use for the activity, the training, all of the work that we put in. If we cut out carbs, yes, we're gonna lose some weight because having carbs in our body stores more water in our body. So if we cut out carbs, we're gonna have less water in our body, so we're gonna weigh less. So yeah, it'll help you make weight, but it's extremely dangerous because now we're basically running on empty, right? If you've ever cut carbs to make weight, you've felt tired and lethargic and slow and mentally drained and fogged when you're in training and when you're in camp. So many fighters think that this is how you're supposed to feel, but it's not. Eat carbs, they're important, they're crucial for your performance. There are way better ways that you can make weight without negatively impacting your performance. Amateur weight cut mistake number 3 that I see so many fighters doing. This one is very dangerous. This is dehydrating for a same-day weigh-in, okay? I cannot stress this enough. If you have a same-day weigh-in, which means you're stepping on a scale and a couple hours later you're fighting, do not dehydrate. Do not step in a sauna. Do not sit in a bath. Do not sweat massive amounts of water in order to fight. You do not have enough time to recover. If we sweat out, let's say 10 to 20 pounds in a sauna or a bath for a same-day weigh-in, you will not have enough time to refuel and rehydrate your body. Your body will be in an extremely depleted state. You will not have enough carbs, enough water, or enough electrolytes, and you will not have enough time to replenish them. What this means is your performance will be terrible. You're gonna step in the ring extremely beat up, extremely fatigued and tired. You're gonna be slow and lethargic, and you will most likely get hurt. So to avoid this, we are not going to dehydrate at all for a same-day weigh-in. Mistake number 4 amateurs are making when they're cutting weight that it's just dangerous and honestly just dumb are taking laxatives or diuretics, okay? I don't even know why I have to mention this or talk about it, but there are a lot of fighters out there that are taking laxatives or diuretics to clear fluids or solids from their body for a weight cut. A couple reasons why this is dangerous and can lead to injury. First and foremost, it puts a lot of stress on your kidneys, right? Chances are if you're taking a laxative and a diuretic, you're also dehydrating, you're also cutting calories, you're also training. So then we put one more stress on your kidneys by putting in a supplement or a medication that's designed to clear your body out, and it could lead to kidney failure or severe injury. On top of this, it's a common trend here, but by clearing out our body and taking extreme measures to dehydrate our body without proper refueling is going to lead to poor performance and probably going to lead to injury. So don't make the silly mistake of taking diuretics or laxatives to make weight. It's not going to benefit you. It's going to do more harm than good. Amateur weight cut number 5 that I see all the time happen, more times than not, it's a fighter waits until they have a fight booked to start the weight cutting process. Look, fighting is a martial art, and in order to perform at a high level in martial arts, we need a high level of discipline. Unfortunately, most fighters lack discipline. So what happens, we have a fight, we make weight, fight's over, and we lose all discipline in our diet. We eat whatever we want, whenever we want. We gain 20 pounds. We have no attention to our diet. We train here and there. In a couple months, we get a fight booked, and oh shit, I have 8 weeks, I have to make weight, and we immediately try to make weight in such a short amount of time. We panic, we resort to dehydration, cutting carbs, diuretics. All of the silly mistakes that we talked about in the beginning of the video are made because of a last minute, poorly planned weight cut. Look, if you want to be a professional, you have to train like a professional. You have to treat your habits like a professional. So when the fight is over, our training and our diet doesn't end. We make sure that we modify our diet to gain to a healthy weight that we can maintain. So then when a fight is booked, we don't have to panic. We don't have to do any kind of last minute measures to make weight. We're already on point. Our weight is where it needs to be. And all we have to focus on is training and peaking and destroying whoever's in front of us in the ring. And number 6, the final weight cut mistake that I see amateur fighters make is cutting weight for an amateur fight. I know that weight cutting is so ingrained in the fight culture. We think that we have a fight, so we have to cut weight. But at the amateur level, the most important things are having more skill, being a better fighter, being stronger, and being better conditioned than the opponent standing across from you. At the amateur level, if you are not better than that person in front of you, a weight cut does not matter. The reason professional fighters cut weight, let's say UFC contenders, is because their skill level is so close to one another. They're so even that they need any advantage that they can get to dominate their opponent. So they cut weight, they dehydrate, and try to regain in order to have a little bit of an advantage over their opponents. At the amateur level, this isn't going to benefit you. All you should be focusing on is training at a high level, following a customized data-driven strength and conditioning plan, and having your diet dialed in. If you do those 3 things, you train like a professional at a high level, there will not be a single person in the amateur circuit that can compare to you, that can compete with you, that will give you any kind of trouble. A weight cut is just a waste of time at the amateur level. So there you have it, my 6 amateur weight cutting mistakes. You're most likely making 1, 2, or even all of these mistakes. I can't stress enough how important it is to undergo a weight cutting process if you're gonna do one with a professional, somebody that's an expert in weight cutting, that understands the demands of combat sports. This isn't a game. This is dangerous. It can be if it's not done the right way. So before we can even think about having a long, prosperous, successful career in the fight game, we have to make sure that our weight cutting, our diet, our training is dialed in. If you have any questions about weight cutting, drop them in the comments down below. I love this stuff. I want to help as many fighters as I possibly can. So drop them in the comments down below. That's all I got for you today. Again, make sure you subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Wow.